Hey, my name is Christian Bartens. I'm the CEO of Datalicious, and today I want to tell you a little bit more about a Facebook partnership that we recently announced. Facebook is kind enough to give us access to their impression level, user level data and cross-device information. And we find that very, very exciting because of the weaknesses that we detected in cookie-based attribution, cookie-based measurement. And also, especially in light of the recent news that iOS 11 will make it even harder to track people using cookies. The biggest problem here being that people have different cookies across different devices, across different browsers, and they essentially look like different people to any tracking system. You are the same person, but you're using different devices, different browsers, and that means to any tracking mechanism you look like different people. So it makes it very, very difficult to stitch your different touch points together into what we call a purchase path. The path that you take before you buy something. A series of impressions, ad impressions, emails that you open, search terms that you click on before you make that final decision to buy something. And because the tracking of that is usually cookie-based, it's very hard to stitch these touch points together into a cross-device path. And Facebook is kind enough to let us use some of their non-cookie-based tracking methods. As you already know, you're logged into Facebook on most of your devices, so you're identifying yourself, and Facebook allows us to use that information in an anonymous fashion. It's important to point out to stitch your purchase path together across devices. And we recently did a study on that with Facebook in Australia across 3 major brands, and found out that when switching from cookie-based tracking and attribution to Facebook's cross-device measurement capability, that we actually can increase the path length by over 30%. And that is massive. That makes a huge difference to the results, especially for campaigns and touch points that usually only happen on mobile devices, or more prone to happen on mobile devices. Because we know, I think instinctively we know that mobile devices are used a lot in researching a purchase. But you're not necessarily buying on that actual device. So in a cookie world, that leads to the problem of the impressions or the campaigns that people were exposed to on mobile devices never seeing any credit, because the purchase simply never happens on the same device. So by tying these 2 devices together, we're tying the mobile ad impressions to the actual purchase that later happens on the desktop computer, these campaigns can finally get some credit. And so in the study we realized that by doing this, by combining the purchase path across devices and increasing the path length by over 30%, actually certain channels, for example Facebook, actually perform over 240% better than actually anticipated. And that makes a huge difference when you think that potentially currently the way you look at your results, some of them may actually be 250% better than you think. And so once you have that kind of insight, I think you know the full power of actual mobile advertising, you probably would be shifting some of your spend to mobile.